I tried drop servicing for 7 days as a complete beginner. Here's what happened. Before we actually get into that, let me explain the whole concept of drop servicing if you aren't yet familiar with it. Drop servicing is similar to drop shipping. It's not the same thing, but instead of actually delivering physical goods, such as with drop shipping, we deliver digital services or digital goods to a consumer as soon as they visit and purchase from our site. And we can create these type of funnels or websites using multiple different hosting providers and servers. Predominantly, we're going to be taking a look at mainly ClickFunnels and or Kartra. Those just seem to be the two best options when it comes to creating a site/funnel for drop servicing. So we basically act as a middleman/agency for an in-demand service. And in my case, I decided to go with podcast cover artwork. We've already done a 24-hour challenge of drop servicing previously. So if you're unfamiliar with the store and the whole site that I created for that, definitely check out that video. You guys seem to love it and you guys really wanted to see a 7-day drop servicing video. So that's why I'm doing this. And in that video, we decided to podcast cover artwork, and that's what we're going to be rolling with for the 7 days. The goal of drop servicing is to convert and attract customers predominantly via Google Ads. You could do Facebook, but a lot of people do like doing, CPC and Google Ads to attract their consumers to their site and convert them into an actual purchaser. And we basically sell our service, in this case, the podcast cover artwork, in 3 different tier packages, depending on the offer they want to take and to claim. So we have 3 different prices. Number 1, for $80. Number 2, for $149. And the last one for $300. So we have a 3-tier package price system that, consumers can choose from to their wishes and whatever service and other things they would want to have. And once they purchase the service, in this case again, our cover artwork for podcast, we head over to Fiverr or to Upwork, whatever you would want to choose. But in this case, we're taking a look at Fiverr. We find a freelancer that has and is serving these exact services. So my whole tier package is based on this particular Fiverr freelancer that we actually utilized in the previous video that we did on this. And so the cost of the freelancer in this example may be $20. So we pay him $20 to complete this service for us. And since we did attract the customer for $80, he paid $80 minus the $20 for the freelancer, minus the actual advertising costs. And that is the pure profit that we keep from this. So it's very, very lucrative. There's big profit margins to be made, and it's a relatively simple business model. So the great thing is we do not have to actually have any of these designer skill sets. So we don't actually have to be able to fulfill this exact service. We just have to find someone on Fiverr that can do it for relatively cheap and can actually deliver the whole artwork. And as soon as we've placed the order with a Fiverr freelancer and they've delivered it to us, we basically take the order that they've completed based on the desires and the wishes of our consumer that we attracted through Google Ads, and we deliver it to them probably through email. And since everyone is currently scared to start dropshipping, basically the normal topics that I feature on my channel, due to a specific thing that is happening that I'm not going to mention, a lot of people are shying away from actually starting. So therefore I decided to introduce you guys to drop servicing, a different yet lucrative business model. As with this business model, we don't seem to face any of these other problems that dropshipping is currently facing, such as longer shipping durations or different logistical nightmares. So that's the basic premise of the drop servicing model. Now let's talk about the 7-day challenge. How is this going to work? So basically, I'm going to set up a drop servicing site using Kartra, and then we're going to start running Google Ads to our site. And so we're going to be doing that live setup later on in the video. Plus, then I'm going to be tuning in every now and then, every other day, maybe if we've made a sale, and then we'll make a final conclusion after the 7 days have passed. So that's pretty much the premise of the challenge, and I'm going to be attempting this for 7 days as a complete drop servicing beginner, as the only experience I have with this business model is literally the one that I had for the challenge. I ran the site for 24 hours. And I have a little bit of experience with Google Ads, not as much, not my expertise. I'm better with Facebook, but regardless, you guys really wanted to see this, and therefore I'm giving this a shot. So now let's dive in and actually take a look at the site that I created for this 7-day challenge based on podcast covers. Now, previously I used a different service, a different software to create this, but I wasn't super happy, so I decided to switch it up and move to Kartra, and I'm much happier the way this site looks, and it looks a lot more professional. So I'll run you through it real quick. The name of the brand, the name of the site is Easy Podcast Covers. We have a few menu bars up top, home features, why us service, contact, get started. Your #1 marketplace for podcast covers. You won't find better podcast covers for this cheap price point. It's a really short and simple cover. I really like the look of it. We got some bigger podcasts mentioned up top. Tony Robbins, Business and Technology, is in German since my Spotify is German. Tim Ferriss Show. Yes, podcast covers are judged by the cover. The packages that we offer, why choose us, some more benefits, why the consumer should actually trust us, subscribe to us. I still have to configure the email address, but as soon as we do go live, that will all be set up. Then our price plan, I really like the 3-tier price plan that we have. The middle one more in focus, since we do hopefully want to make as many people actually buy the middle tier one for $149, $79 for this, platinum for $300. What other customers say. So short little testimonials. The podcast names are actually completely made up, so are the other names. Just some fake testimonials. Buy now, get a discount, 30 days money back guarantee, and also some frequently asked questions that I set up so to help the consumer, face some other questions in advance. So pretty much the whole site is already set up, already good to go. Just a quick rundown of the mobile version. Here it is. Also mobile optimized if the people would like to purchase on mobile. So that's obviously a great thing. And I really like the look of this site. It's definitely a great draft to get things going and looks a lot better than my previous version that you can see right here or in the previous video. So now let's hop onto the Google Ads account where we're going to be scheduling the ads for this particular drop servicing site. So this is already the Google Ads account. I already took the time and set the campaign up in advance. So let's go through it real quick. It's basically the exact same structure that I had for the previous video for the 24-hour challenge, as that did perform quite well. We have a simple headline, high quality podcast covers. Headline 2, the exact name of our store, 50% off today only. A little bit of a scarcity to see that they have a great offer in place. And the first description, a great attention grabbing podcast cover is essential for the success of your podcast. Description 2, come visit our site and get your ideal cover crafted. So this is how it's going to look like. This is the ad preview. Looks all right. Obviously we haven't gotten any impressions, clicks, or amount spent since it's not live yet. Currently, right now it's Monday, and so as soon as you guys are watching, it will end on Sunday. So actually the exact same day as you're probably going to be watching. And these are some search phrases that would relate to our podcast. Right now, our daily budget is set to 29 euros per day. Yeah, I think we're gonna do with 27 euros. I think that is a decent price point. And we have 16,000 to 27,000 impressions per month, 835 to 1,394 clicks per month. So we're gonna save that. So the monthly maximum for the upcoming month, so April, is gonna be 820 euros, and that can work and hopefully will work. Business info, Easy Podcast Covers, easypodcastcovers.com. So obviously our domain, and the locations that I've decided to hit is going to be Australia, Canada, UK, and United States. So pretty much the top 4 countries, the best paying countries in this instance with the best market. And I think the majority of people that will be interested in creating or purchasing podcast cover artwork are going to be from one of these 4 countries, and the potential audience size is 382 million people per month. And the last thing, these are the product and services, the business category. The podcast setup is the business category that we decided to go with. Create a podcast, podcasting, starting a podcast equipment packages. Those are going to be the main keywords that we're going to be hitting for this ad. So now we're going to go live, and hopefully we can see and get a few sales as soon as possible. And I'll probably tune in back with you somewhere midway through the week to give you guys a little bit of an update. Hopefully we managed to get a few sales. I'm not entirely sure how this will turn out. The 24-hour challenge did go quite well, but for the 24-hour challenge, we did spend a lot in that day, and hopefully we can get away with some decent profits through this week. And I'm super curious to see if I can actually get away with some decent profits, even though I'm a complete beginner to drop servicing. And so yeah, let's go live, and I'll see you back in a few days.
1 week later.
And we're back. It's now been officially 7 days, so 7 days have passed since the challenge originally started on Monday. It is now Sunday, and I think the results are relatively decent since I'm a complete beginner and I didn't have any real prior experience to drop servicing before this little challenge. So without further ado, let's actually take a look at the results that I managed to achieve with this drop servicing site. and let's hop right into it. And so here are the results. I managed to accumulate almost $400 in sales and revenue, so it's exactly 395. There have been 5 total purchases. I ideally would have wanted to have more. No one actually took a higher price package. We only managed to sell 5 times the 79 package, so maybe we should do a little bit of fine tuning of the price and maybe increase the offer in some shape or form. But predominantly there were only sales for the first tier package for $79. So the first day there were no sales. The second day there was 1 sale. The third day was 0 sales. The next day 1 sale. Following that another sale. 2 sales yesterday and 0 for today. So that means a total of 5 sales. It's relatively consistent and I think that is pretty decent. 395 for the very first week. But obviously you guys know it's not your profit. So let's talk about the whole profit loss calculation. Now we did manage to accumulate $395 in sales in revenue, but obviously we have to subtract the total advertising fees through Google Ads, and we ended up paying a total of $182 for Google Ads. So we'll obviously subtract that, and we also obviously have to subtract the actual fees for the freelancer that actually did take care of the work, the cover artwork that he did create for us, and that is $15 since no one took any of the bigger packages. So 5 times $15, so that's minus $75. And you would normally calculate and put in the Kartra fee, but since we were able to do like a 30-day trial for $1, we can subtract that as well, and that puts us at a total profit of $137 for 1 week. And I think that is a pretty decent return considering I've never really done drop servicing in the past. So 140 as a complete beginner is pretty good in my opinion. Now obviously we could improve a lot of things, maybe increase the ad spend and make it a little bit more profitable. So here are the things that I would change up if I would keep doing this. So the first thing that I would probably change up is to play a little bit around with the actual offer. So maybe increase the price, maybe add a little bit of an upsell, or just see what works best and then, fine tune it over time. Maybe give them a small little bundle, small little package, try out a few things here and there to increase the average order value. I think that could be an interesting perspective and something to change up. Plus, I would also take a look and try and add more testimonials and some of the previous work, or maybe some kind of better messaging platform, put something up in place like direct messenger through Facebook. I think those would be some small little things that I could change up that would definitely help out the customer, and that would be a way to increase our social proof and hopefully maybe even get a little bit more sales. And the last criteria is to probably fine tune the ads a little bit. I think there's still definitely room for improvement with Google Ads. Since that's not necessarily my specialty, I'm more better with Facebook ads than in comparison to Google Ads, so I still have a lot to learn there. But regardless, I do think $137 profit is pretty good, especially if you calculate it up to a month. That's a little bit under 600, but there's still definitely room for improvement and a small little side income source theoretically, as there is very low maintenance work required to keep this drop servicing store running. In comparison to the drop shipping, there's a lot more work involved for drop shipping than in comparison to drop servicing. Obviously at scale it is more work that you have to put in, but I think the challenge was a relatively decent result and I do think it was quite successful, but there is obviously still room for more sales and better results. Now my question to you, do you guys still want to see drop servicing videos in the future? So maybe a drop servicing step-by-step tutorial, so I walk through the whole process, so how to find the actual service, how to actually get into drop servicing, etc. Cover all the necessities for each beginner, so give you guys a full-on in-depth step-by-step tutorial, or maybe do a small little day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 day challenge with 7 episodes or maybe even less, where I pretty much set up the store, go through everything, find a service, and then launch the ads. And it's more live than this one that I've just recorded. Let me know if any of these ideas would be interesting to you. Now, in conclusion, I do believe drop servicing is a great online business model, probably not as good as drop shipping yet. Right now though, due to the current situation, maybe drop servicing is something very cool to get into at this current situation, because you don't have to face the logistical and shipping problems that you would now have to deal with with Shopify. Now, of course, it's probably not as scalable as dropshipping in comparison, and it's a lot tougher to build an actual brand. And personally, I'm still a bigger fan of dropshipping in comparison to drop servicing, but nonetheless, it is a great side hustle and you can make decent money out of it. You definitely can make a lot more money than I did this week. This was at a relatively low budget, low scale, and there's definitely a lot of room for improvement. And in some shape or form, you could have your dropshipping business going on the one side, and you could be providing a drop servicing or an agency type style as your side hustle. That could also fuel your ads, your dropshipping service, or you just focus on your dropshipping service, and this income that comes through drop servicing, you just use for personal expenses or your everyday life. So definitely a great business model to look into, and let me know if you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Everything would be much appreciated. We're already on track to 4K. Thank you so much for 3K subscribers. I really appreciate it big time. And by the way, you guys are all not subscribed, so definitely to click the subscribe button. Every single subscription means the world to me. And thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye.